Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jump and today I'll be reviewing Ben 10 Protector of Earth, which was released back in 2007. And the version will be reviewing is the DS version because, like with a lot of the other reviews that I've been doing over the last few weeks, that's the version I played, and that's the version I'm most memorable with when it comes to different versions on different consoles. So the plot is that uh, Ben and his cousin and grandpa are traveling across a part of America to try and stop Vilgax. It's kind of like one of those it's like watching an episode of the cartoon in the sense that it's just what it feels like one of those kind of things that Vilgax arrives, you fight him, or Ben fights him, and as well as his uh, cousin Gwen and Grandpa Max. They win, they saved, go home. And this game, I like with a lot with the other games that I've reviewed over the last few weeks. This is one of the games that I remember playing a whole lot as a kid because when I was younger, I think when I was a kid, like six, 5 or 6 or 7 ish. I was a fan of the cartoon, and I did enjoy watching it when I was a kid. And this feels like an episode of it, but you're controlling Ben and becoming one of his aliens. And in the game, you only become four or five of his aliens because you got Heat Blast, Wildvine, Accelerate, Cannon Bolt, and Forearms, and that's pretty much it. And you unlock each alien. Well, at the start of the game, you can only access two of the aliens, Heat Blast and Forearms, and then I think in the first level you then unlock Accelerate, and then you unlock Wildfire and Cannonbolt later on in the game. And I would say this game is kind of like I would say it's part platformer, part arcade based game, in the sense that you go from level to level, doing some platforming skills, solving some relatively easy puzzles, and fighting some enemies in this sort of like closed off area. And it's like feels like an old arcade based game where you've got like your light attacks, your heavy attacks, then maybe a special move and stuff like that. And each alien that you unlock all have their own special moves. So Cannonbolt, he can turn into a ball obviously and just hit enemies quite hard. Forearms, he can pick up enemies, or he can pick up multiple enemies and just throw them. Or he can also throw rocks. Heat Blast, he can use fire-based powers as well as absorbing fire. So like I think there are some levels in which there's like a wall of fire that you have to go across, and then you can either use Heat Blast to get across, or use Heat Blast's ability to absorb the fire and just get rid of the fire that way. And Wildfire, he can like throw bombs, accelerate super fast, and stuff like that. And yeah, I'd say this game is it's like really fun, and I did enjoy playing it as a kid, and I do enjoy. I think this game has a really fun moments. Like a lot of the bosses, like you fight a giant robot, sent by Vilgax, and then you fight another one, but it's made by the Forever Knights. And this game takes a lot of things from the cartoon. So you've got Vilgax, obviously. You've got the Forever Knights. You've got Ghost Freak, and you've also got Kevin 11, but in his mutated form with like the different body parts of the different aliens that Ben had in the Omnitrix at the time. And that's, I think, bringing all those kinds of characters into this game is really cool because each of the villains that you fight, so when it comes to the boss fights, are all different. And I remember there's like one of the bosses it's like this giant plant based enemy, and that's where you get Wildvine, and it's basically this giant plant that you have to hit. I think you have to hit either its head or the roots that's in the ground, and that's really cool because each boss it doesn't really feel the same. They all feel different and unique, and that's really cool. And I do enjoy how each location is vastly different, as I'll be talking about a bit in my gameplay section. But I think it's a really enjoyable game, so yeah. And now it's time for some gameplay. So before you enter a level, you're given like this sort of like roadmap of some of the different areas that you go to, and each level is I would say uniquely different from. Let me just get the start of. It's uniquely different to a lot to it's different to each other. So like, for example, this level is different to a level like this one, let's say, because this one is more in a deserty area. Well, if I can go back, well, this level here is more in a swampy area. So each level is very different from each other. And what I do like about each level is that you're given this sort of photo thing, which has like the name of the level, and what kind of how many points you have, as well as a card you can collect in each of the levels. And yeah, and when I was younger, I'd always try and find each one, which I think is quite nice. Which I think is quite nice because it's basically that sort of thing of a sort of like collectathon hide and seek thing, because each card is hidden in throughout the level, and I think it is quite obvious of where to find them. But I think it really depends on which level you're in. But it basically makes you go the extra mile of collecting them all. So let's actually jump into a level. So let's use this level as an example. So go. So you have various levels. So normal, hard, intense, and they all correspond to the levels that, or the difficulty that you go to. So normal is easy. Hard is more difficult. Intense is probably the hardest difficulty in the game. And so let's for now go with normal. So when you go into the level, instead of it being on the home screen or the bottom screen, you'll be taken to the top screen, where most of the game will take place on. Now this is very. One thing that I do like about the game is both the main screen and the bottom screen. So the top screen is where you have basically it's basically one of those. It's basically kind of like Street Fighter-esque in big quotations, because like Street Fighter, you've got like your basic moves. So you've got your punch, you've got your like a roll, your special moves, that sort of thing. And when it comes to like this game in particular, you can transform to some of the different aliens, so Forearms, Heat Blast, Accelerate, Cannon Bolt, and Wild Vine. So, and you can choose between each different one. So let's go for Heat Blast. And what I do like about the aliens is that, like in the shows, each alien has their own unique moves. And if it can, okay, there we go. So each alien has their own different moves based on which the aliens you're on. So for Heat Blast, he can control and manipulate fire, and then with Accelerate, he's super fast. Forearms, he's strong. Wild Vine, he can create plants, and Cannon Bolt, he can change into a ball. And like in the show, you can be seen. You have a specific amount of time when it comes to certain aliens. So whenever you're in a particular alien form. So because I'm Heat Blast, I have a specific amount of time until I can become human again. So you can either there are two ways you can become human again. So one of them is being let the Omnitrix just run out of energy, or if I tap on the alien, then tap on the alien again, I'll become human again. So let's change into a different alien to show you that the other one's moves. So let's go with Wild Vine for now. And yeah, I think each alien is vastly unique. Oh, and there we go. So yeah, so let's go for Accelerate for now. So yeah, so Accelerate is, I think, quite useful because he can basically just get you to like higher levels. If I can, there we go. He can get you up to higher levels because he's like I think the lightest character, and because he's like super fast and stuff. And there we go. And it's basically just that. And if I can just well anyway yeah, I think each alien is vastly unique. There we go. Yeah, so I'll say that's been it for the gameplay. Now to go back to the review. So overall, I would say that the Ben 10 Protector of Earth is a really when I was a kid, it was a really enjoyable, fun game. I think it's one of those games you might want to give to like your kids' siblings or something if they are a fan of the show. And that I think with the combat and stuff like that, the combat feels awesome and fun. If you're a kid, because it's very different to like each character that you become. So, but whether it's Ben or one of his aliens, all feel different, and they don't, similar to how the bosses are. They don't feel the same. They all feel different with all their unique moves and stuff like that. And I do enjoy just going when I was playing the game when I was a kid, just going to all these different locations, and I do like how each section where all the levels are all based on where you are. So where I think there's like because there's like the deserty area with like Area 51, that sort of thing. You've got the swamp area. You've got the more you've got the Washington area place that's more humanized and stuff like that. We've got the buildings and stuff, and then you've got Vilgax's ship, which is like in space and more alien-like and stuff like that. So yeah, it's one of those games that just I had a whole lot of fun with, and just enjoying just going around and just playing as one of Ben's many aliens and stuff like that. So yeah. So that's been my review for Ben 10 Protector of Earth for the DS. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.